Will Álvaro Carreras be Real Madrid's final summer signing? An insight into the transfer plans of La Liga giants Real Madrid for the remainder of the summer has this weekend been provided. The info comes courtesy of Marca, and confirms that, despite having another new signing all but secured, Los Blancos are not yet finished when it comes to arrivals. The days ahead are expected to see Benfica standout Álvaro Carreras add to the left-back ranks in Xabi Alonso's squad for next season. As much will add to the previous additions of all of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dean Howison, and Franco Marstantuo. No, at times hesitant to splash out significant sums on multiple players in the same summer over recent years, it had in turn been suggested that Carreras' arrival could bring a close to the incoming market at Real Madrid. As alluded to above, however, if the latest word stemming from the Spanish media is anything to go by, this will not be the case. As per a report from Marca, Real Madrid's squad isn't complete. Xabi Alonso reiterated this throughout the Club World Cup, and it will be proven clear in the coming week. The first to arrive will be Carreras, but not the last. Real Madrid player's dad leaks new signing on social media as secret Man United clause revealed. Xabi Alonso and Los Blancos are still active in the summer transfer market, and a new look defense is taking shape. The father of one new Real Madrid signing has set social media mouths motoring with an image that hints at the possibility of another addition. Real Madrid new boy Dean Howison has brought an Instagram-loving dad into the Bernabeu family, and Don Howison's stories post showing his son behind an an unsigned prospect has been taken as a leak by fans online. Spanish international Howison moved to the capital club from Premier League side Bournemouth at the end of the 2024-25 season and made his debut at Gianni Infantino's Club World Cup in the United States last month. The 15-time European champions also brought Trent Alexander-Arnold in from the Premier League in time for the Club World Cup and are reportedly interested in adding his former Liverpool teammate Ibrahima Konate to the defensive ranks. But if Howison Sr. is in the know, rumors of the imminent arrival of a young Spanish left-back might prove to have some substance. The image features Benfica's Álvaro Carreras. The 22-year-old joined the Lisbon club last summer after spending the previous half-season on loan at the Estadio da Luz, but has already been identified as a possible target for Alonso's Blancos. There was reported interest in Carreras from Liverpool ahead of the January transfer window, but his history with Man United made that an unlikely switch in more ways than one. It was revealed that the Red Devils hold a £16.7 million buyback clause as part of the deal that took Carreras to Portugal. A right they would surely have exercised to prevent their rivals from making Galicia-born Carreras has history at Real Madrid. He moved to the capital from Deportivo La Coruña in 2017 and spent 3 years in their youth setup before signing a 4-year contract at Man United. He made 39 league appearances on loan at Preston North End in 2022-23 but never played first-team football for his parent club. His initial loan spell with Benfica followed 4 months in Andalusia with second-tier side Granada. If Howison's father gets his way, Real Madrid will sign one of the Portuguese league's best attacking defenders. The parents of Jude and Jobe Bellingham adopted a simple, but effective approach that kept the brothers grounded throughout their childhood. Jobe followed in the footsteps of older brother Jude by progressing through the ranks at Birmingham, where he would make his first-team debut in an FA Cup clash against Plymouth at 16 years and 107 days old. Eventually, the brothers would secure moves to Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid respectively, but they could have easily joined more high-profile teams during their schoolboy years had it not been for their father. Carreras is an efficient finisher and an incisive progressive passer and carrier of the ball. In 2024-25, only one player in the division touched the ball, and only twice, more than the young left-back. Jude Bellingham's parents had strict rule for him and brother Jobe that now looks a stroke of genius. Mark Bellingham, a former sergeant for West Midlands Police who also played non-league football, wanted to keep Jude and Jobe at their boyhood club for as long as possible to prevent disruption and keep them grounded. Kevin Betsy, who spent 4 years coaching Jude for the England juniors, said Mark was very clear and concise when it came to communication, which reflects on the pair to this day. They were very keen on their child living at home in Birmingham, training in close proximity to their home, to allow him to have as normal a childhood as possible. That was really important, Betsy told The Standard. They could have gone to many of the top clubs in Europe when Jude was 12 or 13, but they resisted those ideas. The teenage years with your child are important. Betsy added, they were also very clear that Jude should get the appropriate amount of time to fulfill the educational commitments when he As with us, it was fundamental to them that education was a huge part of his life. They were very strong on that. If there was ever a sign of any problems at school, with either behavior or dropping academic grades, he wouldn't be playing football. And that's why he did so well at his GCSEs. Education played a significant role in the development, both on and off the pitch. Jude, who attended Hagley Primary School near Stourbridge, was a fantastic young man, growing up, according to Vanessa Payne, his former teacher. Even then he had the aspiration to take his skills somewhere, Payne told BBC. He's left a legacy here of sportsmanship and ambition and trying to be the best you can be. He was kind, he was thoughtful and he was a good sport. and he was just somebody people wanted to be around. The school's deputy head teacher, Rob Tyndall, also praised his former student. "We are so proud of him. The fact he was only at this school not long ago. It's what dreams are made of," he said. Unfortunately, a reunion between the brothers will not take place when Borussia Dortmund face Real Madrid. In the Club World Cup on Saturday, Jobe received his second yellow card of the tournament in their round of 16 clash against Monterrey, meaning he will be suspended for the quarter-final clash with Los Blancos. Dortmund head coach Niko Kovac admitted Jobe was disappointed after picking up the suspension. "I think we all saw that Jobe Bellingham was very disappointed," he said. "Okay, he's young. His brother is also young, so I'm convinced they will face each other, maybe next season in the Champions League, and then the future. The future is for them." Well, in May, the Manchester Evening News reported that the Red Devils had a buy-back clause inserted into the deal when Carrera left United for £5 million in May 2024. A clause of around £15 million was included, while clubs other than United may have to pay a €50 million, £42.1 million release clause. United also retain a 20% sell-on clause for Carreras on any future deal worth more than £5 million. As players like Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham and Federico Valverde all nailed parts of the team that will likely see little rotation, other midfielders and forwards may struggle to break into the starting lineup. The likes of Arda Güler, Eduardo Camavinga and new signing Franco Marcantonio will likely find themselves competing with several others for one spot in the starting team each match. But more than anyone else, it appears that Rodrigo may struggle to carve out a place in the new formation, as he will now be competing with Mbappe, Bellingham and Vinicius for a spot in the three most attacking spots in the squad. Luka Modric's kit number at Milan is not what Real Madrid fans expected. Real Madrid will officially let Luka Modric go very soon. He will not play another game for the club, and his contract would technically expire as soon as the Club World Cup ends. You can say he has already left the club, which would not be wrong, and it is basically confirmed by worldwide reports that Modric will be joining Milan next season. Modric wore two kit numbers at Real Madrid. For the first half of his career in the capital of Spain, he had 19 written on the back of his jersey. In the final half of it, he had the number 10, which became more and more prominent as his latter years became what they did, an era of exceptional performances one after another, defying age. Now, Modric's kit number has been reported by journalists in Italy, and it is not what Real Madrid fans will expect. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, the Croatian legend will wear number 14 at Milan next season. It will be surprising to see Luka Modric without the number 10. Modric wore this number when he was at Tottenham Hotspur, and it was a number that brought him a lot of joy at the start of his career. Fans expected him to get either the number 10, or at least the number 19, but both of those numbers have been taken by players already. Number 10 is currently occupied by Rafael Leao, and number 19 is technically still Theo Hernandez's, although the French left-back is expected to move to Al Hilal, and has already said his goodbyes. Who knows, maybe Modric will end up taking number 19 instead of 14. That is just me thinking out loud. Obviously, it is likely that Modric would want to go for a bit of a throwback and don the number 14 like he used to back in the day. Regardless, it would be weird to see him not wear a white shirt next season. We all would get used to it, but deep down, no one really wanted to. Álvaro Carreras' move to Real Madrid is worrying news for one star. Real Madrid have quickly realized that they have to make moves as soon as possible. Despite reaching the semi-finals of the Club World Cup, and getting absolutely pulverized by PSG, Real Madrid had an incomplete squad to start the competition with in the first place. Even though two of the newest signings of the 2025 summer transfer window played for the club in the competition. There were clear holes that the team had to address last season, which they hadn't found a workaround for in the competition. And one of those gaps has now been dealt with. According to Fabrizio Romano, Real Madrid have signed Álvaro Carreras from Benfica for €50 million. That is great news for the fans, who were basically for a left-back signing. The bad news is for one player, though, who just a few months ago thought he had it all planned out. Ferland Mendy will not see the pitch that much anymore. Real Madrid, according to some reports earlier in the year, had renewed Ferland Mendy's contract to 2027. It has still not been confirmed by the club, but the reports are there. And if they are true, then the club have made a horrible mistake. Mendy has had one of the most upsy-downsy Real Madrid careers of all time, with one good season followed by a horrendous one, and this is not good news for him, who was generally considered a nailed-on starter when fit for Real Madrid under Carlo Ancelotti. He had suffered from an injury that ruled him out of the Club World Cup, but it is tough to see a player like Mendy be the starting left-back for the system Alonso wants to run at the club. Fran Garcia is much better suited for that role, and as is new signing Carreras, which would mean the plan to start Mendy will probably no longer exist. Who knows, maybe Alonso could find a way to play Mendy as a left centre-back in a three-back formation. However, the chances of him being the starter next season cannot be slimmer. He has already regressed heavily on both ends in the last year or so, and with constant injuries nagging his form and development, it will only get worse as he is not the young defender Real Madrid signed in 2019 anymore. It remains to be seen what Alonso does with the Frenchman, but it is not looking good for him at the moment. Real Madrid may pull off surprise transfer that wasn't meant for this summer. Ibrahima Konate has been a long-term target for Real Madrid, just like Trent Alexander-Arnold. The two from Liverpool have been pursued by Real Madrid for a long time, and while the Englishman is signed on a free, Madrid paid a nominal fee to get him a few months early. The Frenchman is soon to follow. As his contract at Merseyside runs till 2026, Madrid had planned to approach the signing in the next summer transfer window when Konate would become a free agent. Konate knows of this interest and has consequently refused multiple contract renewal offers from Liverpool, which has agitated the fans and the management of the club on multiple levels. They fear a situation similar to Trent's, which is exactly what Madrid have planned. And Liverpool do not want that to happen again, so Liverpool are clear with Konate: sign a contract extension or leave this summer for a fee. And this has turned a lot of things in favor of Real Madrid. Real Madrid may sign Konate a year sooner than they had planned. According to a story from Diario AS, the roadmap for Real Madrid to sign Konate was set for 2026 when David Alaba would be released at the end of his contract, which also ends down that year. But Liverpool's ultimatum to Konate has changed things significantly. The story says that Liverpool have set a price tag of 50 million for the player, which Real Madrid are paying no heed to. It must be noted that Liverpool are desperate to get some fee for Konate, and time is running out. They are not in an advantageous position here. As time passes, the asking price will decline rapidly. And that is when Madrid can act. If a bid for Alaba arrives, which is very unlikely, seeing the player's form, or a significant sale is made, something like Rodrygo's, which injects sufficient money into Madrid's purse, Los Blancos will strongly consider signing Konate this summer instead of the next. The story predicts that by that time, the asking price can come down to 20 to 25 million. No more than that. Real Madrid send Nico Paz message to Como. The brass at La Liga giants Real Madrid have made contact with their counterparts at Serie A outfit Como, to make known their intentions when it comes to Nico Paz. That's according to transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, who has on Sunday provided an insight into the situation. The name of midfielder Paz has of course proven a prominent one in Spain's capital for several months now. As much comes after the 20-year-old enjoyed nothing short of a breakout debut campaign on the books of Serie A outfit Como. After linking up with Cesc Fabregas' side from Real Madrid last summer, Paz went on to rack up 35 Serie A appearances, chipping in with 6 goals and 9 assists along the way. Why? On the lookout for reinforcements in the middle of the park with a view to next season, it therefore came as little surprise when reports began to spread that those behind the scenes at the Santiago Bernabeu were giving consideration to activating their buyback clause on Paz. As confirmed by journalist Fabrizio Romano, though, this summer at least, no such move will be made. Real Madrid confirmed to Como that they won't activate €8 million buyback clause for Nico Paz, also formal communication has arrived. Como plan to keep Paz this summer and then Real will have €9 million buyback clause for next summer.